Terrible movie, yeah. So, okay, I'm sure you've seen the ads for this movie. They've been incessant, they've been all over Disney Plus. And if you're anything like me, then your immediate instinct was to clown on it very hard because it looks bad. And now I can confirm it is bad, which is rough because the intention of this movie, it was supposed to be this sort of crowning glory, this homage to the last 100 years of Disney animation, which is no easy feat. It feels like they were already sort of fighting an uphill battle. But that being said, it feels like the creators were more interested in crafting a movie that was just stuffed full of nostalgic Easter eggs than creating a cohesive narrative, let alone a well-polished one. And I mean, I get it. Disney has a giant oeuvre of IP that would be very fun to try and connect together in a movie like this, but at least try to make a good film first. It's not good. It feels like the executives at Disney saw those Disney conspiracy theory posts online that connect all of the different films together, and they rolled up their sleeves and were like, now we're gonna take a whack at it.
The infinity sign is a little on the nose. No, mega corporation.
Feels like a cash grab built on nostalgia bait, and it feels like they forgot to write the movie. They forgot to make it good. They forgot to make a good film. It is sloppy filmmaking, and it makes me so mad, and I hate it. I hate the crappy visuals. I hate the underdeveloped characters. I hate the lyrics that weren't even spell checked, it seemed like, or grammar checked. And oh my god, I hate the stupid goat. I hate the stupid goat so fucking much. I hate the goat so much potential, as a movie. Granted, there are redeeming qualities. There were some things that are interesting, but overall I was just bummed. This movie is bad, but in a way that I think indicates a larger trend with more Disney movies that they've been getting away with, but this one is finally the one that it just kind of crumples under the weight of all of those inadequacies. A final Emperor has no clothes moment. This movie is finally narratively not strong enough to cut it. It doesn't have enough of that redemption factor to make it a good film, to make it even an adequate film, to make it even a film that makes sense. Oh my god. Okay. I will be trying to maintain a calm, cool composure for as much of this as I can. Let's get into it. Okay, so for a summary, in one sentence, Wish the movie is about the main character Asha trying to grant her grandfather's wish. Oh, do you need more details? Does granting a wish, does that feel vague as a motivator? Oh, does it help if I tell you that the grandpa's wish is to inspire people? What does that mean? What does that mean? But fine, I digress. Wish follows our main character, Asha, on her journey to grant her grandfather's wish in the town of Rosas, where traditionally every citizen on their 18th birthday gives their deepest wish to the magical king Magnifico. And because he's taking the wish, he erases the memory of it, and then occasionally he will grant one of those wishes. They kind of yada yada it. There's one line where they say, wait, you forget your wish when you give it to Magnifico? And they say, yes. And if you miss that, you miss the entire plot. So Magnifico, super hot. Everybody loves him because they all want to make out with him real hard. But turns out Magnifico is not such a great guy. Specifically because he takes it upon himself to decide which wishes should be granted and which wishes, good God, that's hard, and which wishes to just ignore. And specifically, once the wish is given to the king, since it is erased, wishes are like your heart fire, your deepest desire, and when it's given to the king, you forget it, you kind of become this desireless husk of who you were. Now, all of that exposition that I just tried to give you and sum up in about 3 minutes, the movie didn't do that much better of a job. We start out with an open storybook, which is fine. That is pretty standard for a Disney movie, and we get to see the king, the background, and then we meet Saba, great, the grandpa, and we meet Asha, and we're told a lot about who Asha is and what she wants, but we are not shown any of that. Instead, we are launched into another expository mechanism in the form of a song where she explains everything about roses. I swear to God, this is like the Lin-Manuel Miranda-ism of stuffing too much information into an opening song. And it was great with Hamilton. With Moana, fun. We got to learn about the island. And then with Encanto, it started to be a little bit too much, but they put a lampshade on it. They said, wow, that's a ton of cousins. Look at all these cousins. We're going to sing about them. And after this movie, you're not getting away with it anymore, Disney. That's too much information just shoved in there, and they don't even get to all of it. Immediately after that is when we have a character ask, do you really forget your wish? You shouldn't have to have dialogue afterwards to clarify the exposition in your lyrics. This scene also really frustrates me because, as I said before, there are so many Easter eggs in this movie that I think is fun. You know, personally, I do get a kick out of like looking in the background for things and finding details. But if you're going to do that, you need to make sure that your film visually is tight. There are so many characters standing and swaying and doing the same animation in the background. Oh my gosh. The one that really gets me is there's a moment where she backs up the camera and one of the characters completely blocked by one of the set elements. Like, were people not watching this movie? What is going on? And on the visuals, one of the biggest complaints about this movie was that it looked bad, which I mean, it does.
Look at their little butthole eyes. I hate it.
Which is rough because the intention apparently behind this movie was so that it would aesthetically also mimic the past 100 years of animation. So they went a route where they tried to make their backgrounds look 2D, which is such a fun idea, but it just ends up visually falling so flat. It just looks bad. And I think there is room for creativity in aesthetic and art style. I mean, just look at a lot of the art that Sony Pictures is doing. This was not it. This was not the move. Oh my God, did you see the mushrooms? Those were my least favorite part. I hated that they unhinged their jaws to talk. Anyway, moving on. Asha goes into the castle where we meet Asha's group of friends, specifically her best friend, who is the castle baker, apparently, and her other friends, and they do not explain or justify who they are or how they know each other. I guess they're all co-workers in the castle. That's where they all hang out. And to be honest, I actually really do like this group of characters. They have unique personalities and their comedy is really fun. I can tell who they are and what motivates them and emotionally how they're going to react to things. You know who I can't tell that about? Asha, our main character. We're told that she cares too much and she's supposed to be kind of quirky and awkward, but that just makes her indistinguishable from every other Disney heroine that we see. The friends are interesting. They've got this goofy blonde surfer dude dumb character that's been more popular in recent movies. They have a very shy character and kind of a grumpy one, a sneezy. Oh my God, are they supposed to be referencing the Seven Dwarves? They totally would. Bashful. Oh my God. Wait. Happy, grumpy, sleepy. I guess that would be yeah, sneezy. Oh my God, they're supposed to be the Seven Dwarfs. That's so annoying. The one thing I liked about this movie and the discernible characters is because you stole it from Snow White. Dang it. Whatever. Okay, so Asha is interviewing for a position as an assistant to the king, okay? So then we get to meet King Magnifico. And like I said, we have had now 3 back-to-back expository scenes, an expository song, and an expository intro with the book. What continues to happen? 2 more back-to-back expository scenes. We learn about Asha and her dad, who apparently passed away. Classic Disney. Asha gives her tragic backstory, and then the king gives his, where apparently he had a village that got destroyed, yada, yada, yada. He's trying to keep that stop from happening again. And then we launch into one of the strangest choices for a song that I have ever seen a Disney movie do. And I'm gonna be honest, it's an excellent song. It's actually really sweet. The lyrics are good. I love the melody. It's like a radio ready ballad, but it's not sung to a person. The king sings it to the wishes, which are these floating orbs just in his study. Is he singing a love song to the wishes? Like, not even to... He has a wife. And then Asha joins in and also sings it.
Oh my God, and now it's a duet with the 17-year-old who is interviewing for a job. This is bad vibes. This is bad vibes.
This song would be so good as a love song or as like to a person, but they're just singing it to orbs to try to communicate the like humanity of these wishes and how warm and real, like full of light they are. But it just doesn't make sense. I think part of the issue with this movie is that a lot of the pieces of the plot, like mechanisms, are intangible and hard to depict on camera. Or to animate. Things like it's your wish, which they sort of skirt around by having them be in orbs, but then you forget it. How do you illustrate that somebody's forgetting something? They just have the characters talk about it over and over again, because how are you supposed to animate that? You can't. So back to the king. Asha asks the king to grant her Saba's wish, and he refuses on the grounds that it's too vague. And this gets into actually probably one of the most interesting parts of this film, which is this moral dilemma of should everyone's desires be granted. It's fascinating and interesting argument. And honestly, I think that the king is definitely the most interesting, if not the only character that has a fascinating arc to watch in this movie. He starts out wanting to protect the town of Rosas by having to be the decider of what they get versus not. Whatever, Asha runs away and she's sad because the king says no. Then she goes and she wishes on a star. But then, of course, because she wishes on a star, that star comes down to Earth. And then we start on one of my least favorite songs in all of Disney history. This song makes me so angry. So sloppy. Somebody just referred to flowers as effortless and eloquent? What? Why flowers in the wind are effortless and eloquent dancers. Eloquent means having a big vocabulary. Not, do they mean elegant? Was nobody even grammar checking this song?
We are our own origin story that doesn't mean anything. Like, we are the beginning of ourselves. Like, yes, and what the? That is, they're saying nothing. Are each other's counterparts? I don't think there was anybody at Disney who was thinking about what the words they were using mean.
Oh my gosh, and they go on to say, when it comes to the universe, we're all shareholders. When it comes to the universe, we're all shareholders. Oh my god. I feel like that line epitomizes the entire movie for me. Lyrically, it's clunky. It's so out of touch. It's so clear that the creators of this movie only understand money, and they only care about their bottom line, and that's the only language that they speak. It's also so vague when it comes to the universe. What does that mean? It's just the epitome of everything that I hate about this movie. I understand that they're trying to be very Carl Sagan, very like, oh, we're all Stardusts, and like, it's so frustrating because ultimately it just falls so flat because there's so many elements that are undefined and intangible. And it's just plot hole after plot hole in this movie. Her group of friends seems to like disappear and then reappear wherever it is convenient for them.
Where did her friends go? Now we found out that Magnifico's in the tower. Where did all of her friends go? They were literally just in that room. No object permanence when it comes to this one gaggle of teens.
At one point, they have her get out of a chase scene by having her little goat familiar itch his butt on a random plank of wood, and it happens to fall down, and then she gets away.
This is such lazy storytelling.
And I know that they were looking to try and fix their plot holes. At one point, the queen and the best friend are handling the book of dark magic that the king has been using, and they say, here's obsidian oil to protect from the pages. So clearly somebody was like, oh, didn't we establish that you can't touch the book without it turning you evil?
Once you try dark magic even once, you're committed to it for forever. That's what happens when you smoke weed even just once too. You commit to a life of evil forever.
Anyway, so overall, really frustrated with this movie. Had a ton of potential. There's some interesting moments for it, but frustrating because I know that Disney can do better. I mean, Disney has got enough money to keep them afloat, even if this one was a box office flop. But I have a feeling that we're in for another little bit of a Disney drought for a while with these creators. Not enough people are saying no to things that are bad. Anyway, that's all my thoughts on that. Don't really know how to end this video. Just like the creators of Wish. Oh my god, we have so much in common. Okay, bye.